Okay, so this isn't my first time shooting a P320, but this is my first time shooting a full-size P320. I've shot the compact one, with the 3.9 inch years ago. I was comparing against the VP9, and it basically had the same recoil as a VP9. And this one, it's been such a long time that I wouldn't really know how to compare the recoil or whatever. I mean, it's just been so long, and I don't really do striker-fired pistols anymore, for the most part. So, anyways, one of my curiosities is if it'll go into battery if slammed in. Cool. Alright. So, that's not a bad thing. It's just, it can typically happen with jarring it. So, let's see. Okay. So it seems to be hitting right on. I just wasn't hitting right on all the time. So, but I made a pretty good group over there. So, I mean, the recoil is nice. I mean, it's got a pretty light recoil spring, so you can feel it coming back, and it goes back on target pretty well. But I don't know. It's just such a generic gun. There's really nothing so special about it, but there's nothing too overly simple. You're not losing anything, but you're not gaining anything. It's like the most basic gun with everything you need and nothing you don't. Like, you've got a grip, you can adjust it for the size. You got a magazine release. It's not ambidextrous, but most of the time you can just use your middle finger to get the magazine out or something if you're left-handed. And typically what I'll do is I won't use my thumb. I'll actually just use my middle finger underneath. So slide stops are ambidextrous, and if you had bigger thumbs, you can just release that. And there's nothing really too evil about using these. It's just some people think that, hey, if you're not going to be in the habit of, you need to rack it because it's the most consistent thing. Well, if you're untrained, yes. If you don't practice, yes. If you're not proficient, yes. So, if you actually are a dedicated shooter, there's nothing wrong with, loading it and doing that. Nothing wrong with that. So, if you have something between your ears, you'll be fine. But, yeah, this has pretty light recoil. The trigger, I mean, if you're trying to feel it, it's pretty crisp. Kind of a heavy wall in comparison to some other guns if they're really loaded out, but I don't really see that as being an issue. But, would it be my first choice? With all the issues going on with it, probably not. But, if they were to actually fix those issues and I was in the striker-fired market, probably wouldn't have I wouldn't really be too against doing it. However, the price for these kits, it's like paying for a whole new gun. So, that's kind of a turn-off. So, but yeah, I kind of like the idea of the Sig 250s before they actually got done with them when I got into double action. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but 320 is not really a bad gun, but just be aware of the downsides on it, and test your gear. That's the biggest advice I could have, but it's a fun shooting gun. Just don't drop it.